All right, hello and welcome to another drawing by me. Tell you a little story. A few years back, I created this label for John Riggs. He did a ROM hack of I don't remember the name of the game, but he did a ROM hack for Metal Jesus, and it's him riding on a guitar. So I made this label for him. The method I used to make this was basically I photoshopped a collage and painted over the top of it. Now you may be saying, well, that's tracing. And yeah, it kind of is. I don't personally think you can cheat in art. I think that the final product is what's most important in art. But yeah, it is kind of an easy way to do it, and it certainly doesn't mean that I don't want to get good in other methods. This was just a quick and dirty way to do something accurately, and I did it and I got it done. But the funny thing was when I made this label, like we took it to Cowlitz, and he showed up with a beard. See, before this, he did not have a beard, and he grew a Jesus appropriate beard. So online, I tweeted about this, and John Riggs kind of called me out and said, if you remake the label, I bet he'll shave it off. And so I guess challenge accepted. I don't know. I don't know if I'll remake this label, make anything good enough to put on a label. We'll see. I'm kind of making some plans with this drawing I'm doing, and I think by the end of it, it's going to be pretty cool. This is going to be a big multi-part drawing experience, but. Basically my process, and I have this, I already drew this, and I'm talking over me drawing it, and kind of sped up the footage so that it won't take the whatever 2 hours it took me to draw it originally. So this is basically, I like to draw like a wire frame first, and I usually draw it in blue so that I don't get confused when I draw the pencil lines over the top of it. You can see here I'm starting with the hair, I'm starting with the face and the head. Just kind of drawing the lines and all that. Yep. What I'm going for here is kind of a, like when Rob Zombie was in White Zombie, he always drew like this really amazing, detailed artwork that looked something like Madballs. And I want to do something like that with Metal Jesus. And so I've kind of come up with this idea that he's holding this kind of crucifix-like pose with the devil horns off to the sides, maybe holding some video game controllers, and then just cords draped on him, and just different things surrounding him. This face that I'm working on now, because I'm not working from a reference, it ends up kind of looking a little weak, but I end up going back and fixing it later on. Which you'll see as time goes by. So faces are tricky, hands are tricky, feet are tricky because they're just the hardest parts to draw. You can see I'm drawing. I don't know if Metal Jesus would ever wear a suit jacket over a t-shirt, but I don't know. It works for the design I'm going for here. This kind of like almost. Demonic scarecrow / leper messiah thing. I don't know. I don't know if you'll ever see this, or I may not make this for the label. I've got some other ideas after finishing this that I think will be fun and surprising. We'll see how this goes over. Yeah, I want the fingers to be bony. He's kind of like maybe an undead Metal Jesus a little bit. He has risen. Something like that. Man, I hope my grandma doesn't watch this video and and see all this blasphemy. So, yeah, I mean, I like the one of the reasons I did the whole suit jacket thing was like those shoulders, so I could bring those shoulders to points easier, and it wouldn't look bizarre because on a t-shirt that wouldn't look right. But I like the way the shoulders come to points. Right now, I'm trying and failing to make a SNES controller, but it's gonna be kind of small, so I don't think most people are gonna pay attention to it. Now his hands are grossly oversized, but in the style I'm kind of doing, I want to exaggerate some features a little bit. I almost don't like how small his head is, so I may try to fix that at some point. And here I'm drawing the chords, and I'm just drawing them, kind of draping over. And of course, when I did this, before I did this, I did more warm-ups, so I could draw nice, smooth, straight lines. It's still something I'm practicing. It's the kind of thing that, for some people, they just have hands like surgeons, but for me, I've got this kind of tremor thing that I've had my whole life, and apparently will just get worse as I get older. If my great grandparents or anything, any kind of an example, so yeah, I may never get the kind of accuracy that some people get. Like the Morning Drawfee guys, I watch their stuff and I want to cry. Because I don't think I can draw that accurately ever. Not without computer assistance. Which I wanted to do this drawing with no kind of computer assistance. I really want to get good. Drawing is like Dark Souls. It's very rewarding, but it's hard to get good at it. And I need to throw this cat out of the room while I'm recording. We just got a new kitty. His name is Titus Andromedon, and I don't know why his name is Titus Andromedon. That was the name my wife. She looked at this cat and said that his name is Titus Andromedon, and I don't know, it fits his personality. But he is a white and. He's like white with kind of a brown face and brown ears and stuff. He looks kind of like maybe a Siamese mix or something. He's very cute, but it's nighttime right now when I'm recording this, and he is going to run around the room like a crazy person, knocking stuff over. Hi, kitty. He knows I'm talking about him, so he came over to say hi. Yeah, so now I'm drawing hair. Hair's tricky. Hair's always tricky, and I always end up going back over hair and redoing it maybe a couple times before I get the hang of it. The idea with hair is that you want to get the basic shapes of hair down. You want to have an idea of where the hair is going, where it's bulging, and you want to shade it accordingly. So instead of thinking about hair as all one mass, you kind of just have to think about it as it's a series of bulges and shapes. And Metal Jesus has some really luscious, curly hair that I am super jealous of. I had long hair in high school. I cut it off because it's easier to find a job. But he's just got some badass rocker hair that I will never be able to, because I just don't naturally have any curl to my hair. I just had nice straight hair, which ladies didn't mind it. But yeah, Metal Jesus has his awesome hair, and I don't think I capture it here. I think I'm going for more of a stringier look than what his hair is really like. But I'm pretty sure I go back over it at some point and make it look a little better than it does. Yeah. So, I tried to shorten this video down to 15 minutes, and that is impossible apparently for the software I'm using. So I think it ends up being about 30 minutes. So, stick around. Have fun. Listen to me try to fill dead air while I watch this video with you. Oh, kitty. I guess you'll have the entertainment of me yelling at my kitty while I'm watching myself drawing. Now, these hard lines around the edges here is something I picked up back when I was drawing webcomics in MS Paint. It does make things kind of pop out. I think I stole it from the Clerks animated series. But over the years, I've kind of perfected it in a way where I'm like trying to vary the thickness depending on, basically what I'm drawing. But it is a helpful kind of technique, especially if you're like me and you're just trying to draw something fast and dirty, I guess. I don't know. It is an effective way to kind of delineate things to make it stand out and help you understand the edges of it. Like I said, it was definitely borrowed from the Clerks animated series where everybody had these nice thick uniform lines around them. Of course, I don't make my lines very uniform. I try to vary the thickness and width. So I'm trying to see if I do a good example of it. It doesn't look like I am on this, but I think as I go along, I definitely like bring things more to a point or maybe just have it thicken out. You can see like I drew the other hand smaller than the hand on the other side that's holding the SNES controller, but I ended up just deciding, no, we're just gonna make both hands nice and bony and scary, like devil scarecrow looking. And then, since I'm going for that kind of like White Zombie album art thing, I want to make sure I put lots of just kind of gory details into it. So I wanted to like make this suit jacket real beat up and just like, I wanted to add like the details of just, like the lines in his wrists and I just wanted all that kind of stuff to stand out. So I want to add like lots of fun little details. And for some reason I decided to just crosshatch this stuff. At this point I was like, I should just shade crosshatch it. And I don't think this works as well in digital paint as it does on the page or if you're using actual ink. No, kitty. But I don't know. Watching this, it doesn't look that bad. So maybe it'll turn out. This is just the drawing portion of it. I'm going to be doing the color portion of it next. But when I realized how long of a video this was turning into, I was like, I better divide this up. I probably should have divided this up into two, to be honest, because it's pretty long. I wanted to, as I try to make more content for this page, I just want to like, I want to make I want to make the videos like 15 minutes long at most. But yeah, it didn't work out on this one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and upload it as one big video. One of the reasons I want to do it as 15 minutes or so is because it takes so long to process these videos. I'm using Sony Vegas video editing. Again, it's just, I don't know. Maybe you guys will find it interesting, just kind of watching me struggle through, like, learning how to YouTube. I don't know. Right now, I'm just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. I'm doing my weird kind of half-hearted vaporwave stuff. It's wintertime. Like, I want to do more spray painting type stuff and show you guys that and show you how I'm using my stencils and doing fun stuff and do new, like, do some new Pokemon, do some new stuff. Show you guys how I did all of my old paintings. If you go on my Instagram or Paraptor.com, you'll see all of my old paintings and even some of the new stuff like this that I'm doing. But yeah, this is fun. Like I said, it's too cold to spray paint though. I can't get out there and spray paint. It's not good to spray paint in the cold. So as soon as it warms up, it gets around 60, 70 degrees, and then I can get out there and start working on other projects. Now, right about here is where I said, screw it. I need to reference his face more. It was looking a little bit too much like Rob Zombie, and it was clear. I mean, it's already pretty clear that that's what I'm going for here. Especially with the hair. The hair is, Rob Zombie's hair is practically dreadlocks, and that's almost what I drew here. And also with the reference, I think I go through, drawing them luscious lips on Metal Jesus. Look at those. Just pillowy soft. God, I hope he never watches this. No. Yeah, so, I go through and just kind of play around with proportions. I really like the way his eyes turned out. It's very Death Clock looking makeup on him. I think that might inspire his how I color him. We'll see. But yeah, I just want to make it look more like him and less like Rob Zombie. So, yeah. And then also, I grabbed a shot of the... Down, kitty. Down, kitty. I grabbed a shot of the skull logo. Like, I don't know where that skull logo... Oh, you can see I'm going in and fixing the hair a little bit now that I have his actual hair as a reference. Yeah, I don't know what that skull logo is, but he had it on some of his earlier videos, and I like it a lot. I like the color. I'm definitely, when I go in and color this, I'm going to try to match the color and the patterns on that as much as possible. I don't know if that's a drawing he made or if it's a drawing a friend of his made or whoever. I just think it's really cool. I like the colors. I like the it almost looks like it's muscled, but you look at it closely and it's just, I don't know. It's like bloody, or maybe it's just a red skull with white stuff. It almost looks like muscle. It almost looks like with bone protruding. I don't know what medium it's in, but it looks like there's like graphite kind of shading around the mouth. I just like the color. I think it really pops. He should use that logo more often. He should have a t-shirt with that logo on it. I really like the way that looks. So I'm trying to match it as much as possible. I think I made the skull just a little too high, and I was elongating it there. I'm not going to make it exact, but I definitely like that logo. When I did the original label for his game, I put that on his t-shirt, so this will kind of be a reference to that. Maybe he hates this logo now. I don't know. Maybe that's why he doesn't use it anymore. I don't know. I think it's cool. I could just see like getting, like I don't talk to him that often. We talk when we're at conventions and stuff. I tend to clam up when I'm around people, especially ones that I see on YouTube all the time. Except for John. I've known John forever. I just kind of clam up, so I don't talk a lot, but I do see him a lot in conventions, and he's always really friendly, and you can spot him real easy if you go to like a convention, because he's like taller than just about anyone else there. And there's me, like, getting rid of the background, seeing what it looks like without it. One thing, like, I've learned over the years, and I just started seeing memes about it kind of on artist Twitter, where you flip your image, and then see what it looks like. And that's something that I've kind of been doing on my own. Even on paper, I will turn the image upside down and look at it. And if it looks okay, and if I notice, because that's how you notice the things that you messed up on, is you got to flip. Yeah, see, like, he's tall, so I'm stretching his legs out. I didn't like how short his legs were, so I'm lengthening them. That's something really cool about when you're drawing on a computer. You can just grab something and just pull it down. And yeah, I'm putting them in Converse because everybody wears Converse in my universe. in the Joe Fritz animated universe, everyone wears Converse because Converse are the best shoes, and and they're easy to draw. So I felt like it was looking a little barren kind of down here, and I wanted to kind of build up to him, kind of. It just seemed a little boring. So I'm kind of drawing, like, there's an Atari right there, the original VCS Atari with the wood grain, because it's awesome. There's a monitor in the background that was kind of supposed to be a Commodore 64 monitor, but it's just a monitor. And then over here, it's a milk crate filled with vinyl records, because I know he's way into those. And I try a couple times to draw a nice round one, but again, shaky hands means it's kind of tricky to draw things perfectly round, not without trying a couple times. Yeah, so drawing some flames up from behind him, and I'm not going to add a whole lot of detail to these flames because I'm going to end up painting them. Yeah, so I started to, and then I was like, nah, I'm going to color this anyway, so maybe I'll even just put a nice gradient behind there that kind of flares up from the bottom. I tried to zoom in so you couldn't see any of the messages that were popping up, anything from my wife saying, "Hey, when are you coming in?" Oh boy, yeah. Oh, so that was an error message about my Outlook account being out of date. So yeah, and it just happened in the video too. So I should probably turn off those notifications. Well, if I'm going to be recording off my screen, that's probably not a bad idea. Alright, so we're drawing the flames. We're drawing just little bits of flames coming off the side there. And based on my plans, I don't really want to reveal what my plans are just yet for this. But based on those, I think I might take all that stuff out, because I've got some other ideas on how I can make this drawing a bit more interesting. And I think at this point, I am looking up the Danzig symbol. I don't even know if Metal Jesus likes Danzig, but Danzig is definitely metal. So I'm kind of looking up the Danzig logo, and I'm trying to figure out a way to make it like a cartoony belt buckle. That's probably what's taking I could probably edit this part out, but no, here we go. It's easier just to watch me squirm, right? Okay. So here's me drawing kind of like the Danzig logo. It's like a skull with some gnarly looking horns. And the actual logo, it's like it's very dark, and all you see is like the white highlights of the horns and stuff. But I'm just drawing like a skull with teeth and a little bit of detail. Looks pretty cool. I think that looks cool even if you don't like Danzig. So there you go. And yeah, just drawing that area. There you go. Like, what do you want me to say? When you're drawing a full body pose, you're gonna have to draw areas of someone that you wouldn't normally like. Whatever. I won't focus on it. It's a human form. It's beautiful. So, ripped up pant leg. Again, I just want to add some kind of gnarly details. You know, just like Rob Zombie when he would draw on his album art. Just lots of. It's almost like I don't know the name of the artist. I think I've probably got time to look it up. But Rob Zombie's style reminds me a lot of the guy who does Rat Fink. Just like, I've got so much time on this video. I'm googling Rat Fink. Okay. I think everyone's probably stopped watching at this point, anyways. Like all two of you. Okay, looks like Ed Big Daddy Roth was the creator of Rat Fink, and I always thought it was pretty clear that Rob Zombie's style was inspired a lot by Rat Fink and Ed Roth's style. You know, just go put on Dragula and just look at. Just Google Rat Fink and then just start looking at all of Ed Roth's paintings, and then you'll get it. You'll completely get it. It'll be a transformative experience for you. I'm sure of it. Just like listening to jazz on a rainy day, which I totally recommend. It's the best. So here's me adding more detail to the Atari VCS. I don't know what the VCS stands for, but that was the original model of the Atari, the one with the wood grain on it. I personally didn't have one of those growing up. I had the, I don't know what they call it. It's just 2600 or whatever. It's the, it had kind of the rainbow design on it and the chrome on it. It was just a decal, just like the wood grain on the VCS, but I just love the idea that, you know, electronics back then, they were just like, yeah, everything's got to be chrome. Or at one point, they're like, yeah, like, it's got to fit with the wood panel walls in your house. So we're going to put wood grain on it. There you go. And this actually, what I'm drawing here is not the wood grain, it's the grooves on the top of it. I can't draw straight lines very well, so I just kind of cheated and just drew a little bit on the sides, a little bit on each side, and then a little bit in the middle to kind of give that illusion of the straight lines and then the light kind of glaring off of it a little bit. So that's a good way to cheat. In fact, if you're watching this, like, most of the stuff I'm doing is just a good cheat. I think most of art in general is cheating. Whatever. I think most artists realize what they're doing is kind of a trick, and it's one of the reasons why artists are always depressed all the time. Here I am trying to fill in that disc when I didn't realize I hadn't clicked contiguous. Believe that's what it is. There's an option called contiguous when you do the fill bucket, and if that's not clicked, you will just fill everything that is that color in with black instead of filling in what you want with black. So you have to kind of hit that. Here I am doing white. Again, this is, just a really simple but effective way to kind of draw the lines around a record. You just want a little bit of sheen on it, And here I'm to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of cheat so that you know that it's a record coming. Those are records. So I have them all kind of coming out. And then it's almost animated the way one's just kind of peeking out, and then one's almost out, and then another one just flying out there so you can see it. Here's a Super Nintendo. Now, I'm pretty sure I can just draw a Super Nintendo by heart. I think I got most of the details right, although it is very a little bit more bubbly than a real Super Nintendo. And there's the egg crate. I don't know if he keeps his records in egg crates, or milk crates, or whatever those things are called. But that's something that, like, my dad had a egg crate filled with records, just awesome. Like Queen's News of the World. Like, I was Stewie. That episode, I'm pretty sure Family Guy has like a microphone on me at all times when I talk about stuff, because that News of the World album scared the hell out of me, just like it did Stewie. So, there you go. Seth MacFarlane stealing my life from me. All right. And I think we're just about to wrap this up. So next time we're going to color this bad boy. And, yep, there. That's what it looks like without the stuff in the background. It'll look even better when I color it. So join us next time when we'll be adding some color to this. Join me next time when we'll be adding some color to this. Yeah, I'm still drawing, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. So, just adding some more detail to the pants here. So that you can tell that they're jeans. And, when I zoomed out, I probably noticed something that was a little off and didn't look quite right. So, now it's done. So join me next time when we color this one. Color this. Yep. All right. See you next time.